So we are day 22 and strong, still going. Day 22 was circles. And if you know me, you know that when I think circles, I think Mickey heads. So we took black paper and some circle die cuts or dies, and I made 3 Mickey heads. I'm going to be using those on a combination of some older Disney paper, but that was basically what I decided to do for my inspiration. Now, if you did not see Mickey heads when you thought to yourself circles, then you could do things like punch out circles to do a background. You could use polka dot paper, which you're going to see I use that as well. You could use circles on your photos to create some interesting dimension or interesting shapes of your photos. There's a lot of different things you could do with circles. I chose to use my dies and make some Mickey heads, which was easy for me. But if you are interested in doing something else, I think there's a lot of things to do with circles. I really enjoy all the pages I see that have circles on them. I think circles are underused in scrapbooking. I do remember back in the day when I started scrapbooking, I did a lot more of, I had, like the creative memory circle cutters, and I would do a lot more of cutting things out in circles and ovals and all of those, even my photos and my journaling spots. And nowadays it's a lot more linear, but doesn't mean that circles aren't fun. So I really recommend you using this prompt to kind of get creative and try some circles. So for me, it's really about the Mickey heads. And I thought about using my punch because I do have a couple of circle punches, but really been enjoying using my Sizzix lately. Just kind of using the die. I think you can it's easier than having to figure out the punch and the paper, where you can punch the paper, because on a die you can kind of put it right in the middle. So I do love that about dies. I think they're a little bit easier to use. So I'm also going to use this red and white polka dot paper. I'm going through an older collection to find another set of polka dot paper. So I'm going to do really leaning into the circles here, a circle background, a circle accent color, accent paper, and then the Mickey circles. So I'm going to be scrapbooking a picture of John and I before we went to the Keys of the Kingdom tour at Disney World. So the Keys of the Kingdom tour is a tour that you take at Magic Kingdom, and it's where a cast member goes over the keys, the 5 keys of Disney. For those of you that are unfamiliar, there are 5 keys, which are kind of the linchpins of the Disney kind of brand. And you can go through this tour and they talk about each of those 5 keys and they show you examples of them. The keys are safety, courtesy, inclusion, show, and efficiency. So they talk about different things that are there for your safety. They talk about different things that are there to help the cast members be more efficient. And they spend a lot of time talking about the show. So one of the things that Disney was really big on as far as show was he didn't want the cast members from Tomorrowland to be seen walking through Main Street to exit the parks. He just thought that would be really odd because why are people in their space outfits on the 1930s Main Street? So and he found that when he was doing Disneyland. So when he designed Disney World, the actual like cast member area is underneath where you walk in Magic Kingdom. So this is the one of the very few tours that takes you down, and I'm going to say down, to where the cast members walk. So you get to walk along, and they call them the utilidor. You get to walk around those quarters. You get to see some of the cast members. And it was really cool. So that is was a really fun thing. It was one of those bucket list moments. I'll tell you that it's usually really sold out, and I was able to get it for John and I. I was really debating. So what you don't know is this is part of a Zoom that I was doing with the ladies from my little scrapbook store, and I was really debating about where to put the 3rd Mickey and if I needed it. I ended up using all 3 of them, but I debated on that second one for quite some time. But I like the way it ended up having all 3 of them, and then I used them for different things. I also put all of them kind of hanging off the page. So each of them hang off the page in a different way. That made it feel a little more interactive instead of just having 3 black blobs on the page. So that is my Mickeys. And now, because I've taken up so much of the page with the paper, I'm not going to do a whole lot of embellishing, but I want to add some more circles. So I do have the kind of enamel, the faux brads that are coming out now that look like, oh, this is my title, Celebrate Magic. And that's when I realized, I think I did this like 2 videos ago. I completely forgot to glue things down and I pick things up and everything falls off. It's been happening to me a lot more lately. Like I lay everything out. Anyway, these are the faux brads, the enamel dots. And I'm going to use those around the page. We're just going to get some more circles in, finding circles in all the right places. I have 2 sets of these from different collections. I'm just using the ones that make sense here. And then I'm combining sticker sheets and collections, and all of my Disney stuff is in one big container. For a while I was holding everything kind of separate, but now I'm just combining everything together so I can use it. That has some really cool imagination words, and I like that because it does go with the keys. Now I was talking to the ladies when I was doing this Zoom, and they're like, oh, did you know your mouse or your Mickey heads are coming off the page? I was like, yeah, I'll cut those in a second. And then I did have to move those top enamel dots. If you go back and look, T was like, you know, those look like eyes, right? And I was like, no, no, they don't. No, they don't. They don't look like eyes. So I moved the enamel dots on the first one. And that's me showing you that it does say Celebrate Magic. Sorry about the light. It is a little glary. I'm going to add some balloons up there, which I think are fun. And then I am going to cut off the Mickey heads so they kind of make the page a little interactive. And now I want to stamp on the black, which means I need to find my white ink. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is I loved the Close to My Heart ink. And Close to My Heart ink is not available anymore. So I have one container of white daisy ink, and I'm just hoarding it and not using it a lot. But this is one of those situations where I really need to stamp the date in white on that Mickey. So I got my white daisy ink and I got my date stamp and I tested it. And luckily for me, it worked. And then I'm going to write in my white pen that I got from the store in New York. And there you go, White Daisy. And I'm able to journal on the Mickey head. So there's not much more to see here. It's going to cut off before I finish my journaling, but we'll send you to a close-up. This is my take on circles. Tomorrow I'll be back with some acetate, which is super fun. And don't worry, I am back to a 49 in Market. I know there's been a few days where we haven't done 49 in Market. Everybody's a little stressed, but tomorrow we're back with 49 in Market and some acetate. I hope you're enjoying the Scraptember videos. I know I've enjoyed making them. Here is the close-up, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.